All right, let's get this started. So, can you explain to the audience what you do and why you started doing what you do right now?
Right. So I'm technically a video editor. That's how I make most of my money. I'm also a videographer, a drone pilot, a creative director, whatever you want. But mainly my money, my income comes from video editing.
Hmm.
And that all started really with just going down the rabbit hole of doing videos in my free time, getting super interested in cameras. So I was
Hmm.
more into cameras at first, the whole tech side of things. And then it all just snowballed really. And all of a sudden, people wanted me to help them with their videos. And here we are today, you know.
Amazing, amazing. And if somebody wants to get started with the video editing and videography, what do you recommend them to start with?
Yeah, you really just got to start. I think videography is kind of a weird thing that it's very hard to learn not by doing, right? You always hear learning by doing, and I think
Yeah.
that's exactly what you got to do. And there are a lot of courses on it, and you can even study it, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend. But this is really something you will not understand what you don't know until you get to this barrier, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
hear
definitely.
a lot of people, as you said, tell me, yeah, it would be kind of nice to do videos. And I
Yeah.
don't want to be mean or anything, but I can already tell that they will probably not get there
Yeah.
because they just don't do it.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
yeah.
it could be really, bro, it could be as easy as recording something with your iPhone and doing like 5 cuts
Hmm.
and posting it in your story or something. It doesn't have to be the next blockbuster, but you got to be
Yeah.
interested in videos.
Hmm.
And then by not getting further and having questions and ideas, I would like to do it like that, like this, but I don't
Yeah.
know how.
Hmm.
Then you start researching, asking people and all that, and that's how the whole process gets rolling, you know?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I feel like the main struggle with people is that whenever they start, they never see any results like quickly, like they never get any customers. Hence, that's why they quit. But what advice would you give for people who just want to start today and they would want to get like their first customer for like editing and video creation?
The first customer starting today. Honestly, man, if I'm 100% real with you, I would not recommend them to look for a customer at all
Hmm.
at the first,
Yeah.
because video editing is something, even not to a high level, that you have to learn. And if
Yeah.
you don't know the craft, there's really no way that you will make a customer happy,
Yeah, definitely.
at least to an extent that you then can call a business.
Hmm.
It's very unlikely. Even if you're not that great, I have a good friend who's not that great, not to insult him or anything, but
Hmm.
he already got rolling, already got like a portfolio up, his Instagram going, and people
Yeah.
just started to recognize him
Hmm.
and build somewhat of a brand,
Yeah.
which is necessary to, perpetuate that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. 100% like personal branding. That's kind of where the word's going towards more, I would say. So break down, like, do you only do just like solely video editing, or is it also like you go to different events, you take videos and then you do the editing? Do you do that kind of stuff?
Also, not a lot. I stepped away from that. At first, I was really hands-on and
Mm,
I got a lot of cameras. I mean, just here actually, my second camera. The one I'm
okay.
recording with is my main camera.
Okay.
So I'm fully into the whole tech side of thing, the production hands-on
Hmm.
thing. But I stepped away from that because I wanted to travel and wanted to work remotely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it is possible, and I know quite a few people in the content creator space that are able to do it, but I just didn't want to film anymore, honestly. I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, give me a laptop and
Hmm.
give me any place that has internet, and I want to
Yeah.
just edit.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes I still have gigs where I film, and obviously, like I'm known as a videographer. I got all these videos up, and people know that I can record
Yeah, yeah.
on set as
Yeah.
well.
Mm,
And I do that at times, but I really don't look for gigs like this or
yeah.
even prefer it at this point. Maybe that will change in the future,
Yeah.
but no, right now I'm pretty chill with editing.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So like what's a day in your life looks like as a videographer who works remotely?
So I would say my day in the life is a little special because I'm very heavy when it comes to lifestyle design, and I
Yeah,
care a lot about what my life is like, and I
definitely. Yeah.
really put a heavy emphasis on my quality of life.
Hmm.
And my day in the life as a video editor, depending on where I am, currently that's Phuket, Thailand, is really I wake up, I have my morning routine, which has nothing to do with videography.
Yeah.
Just let my thoughts run. I mean, it can have something to do with the business side, of course, if it's on my
Yeah,
mind.
definitely. Yeah.
I try to just wake up slowly, then already go to a co-working space or cafe, depending on where is best to work. Also, depending on what my routine is really, it's
Yeah.
very varied sometimes. Sometimes I don't work the first half of the day, and then the second half I'm kind of settling in on something. But yeah, then I work a little bit, just edit away, and care about my own personal brand as well a little bit. And then evening is at the moment just beach, sunsets, a little bit of swimming in the ocean. I really love that. Then it goes to the
Yeah.
gym,
Oh
grab
yeah.
some food, and then the day's basically over, man. May meet some friends,
That's
but
awesome. Yeah. It's
yeah.
really good routine. Yeah. So let's talk more about I want to say like more on the camera side because a lot of people want to get into videography, want to try to figure out like which cameras they would want to invest in, or even people want to make higher quality of content. They want to know which one's the most affordable and the best one to start with. So what do you recommend?
Right. So the best one to start out with is 100% your phone.
Hmm.
The next best thing might be a action cam or DJI Pocket 3. I can actually show you real quick. This is like a Pocket 3. It's a little gimbal camera, kind of.
Hmm.
I don't want to do any um, advertisements for DJI here, but this is a pretty nifty little camera with which you can do a lot of stuff. And
Yeah.
then this is an action cam, right? It's basically a GoPro.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, these are really good to start out with.
Hmm.
If you have the money, definitely invest in something like this, SLR or mirrorless camera. There's, as far as I know, not really a real name for this, interchangeable lens camera,
Hmm.
right? So you got the camera, then you got different lenses.
Yeah.
And what you basically want to do is move your way up to the manual cameras where you set everything manually when it comes to the exposure, right? We don't have to
Mm.
get too technical, but what separates a good image from a bad image is usually how you expose it manually.
Yeah.
And that usually your phone just does all in auto, right?
Oh yeah.
And then
Hmm.
sometimes the video looks bad, but you don't know why. And, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Definitely.
start with the phone, start
Mhm.
with something cheaper, but bigger, handy that you can take everywhere, can get creative with, and then get heavier, so to say.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, definitely, yeah.
But you can also stay with the phone, honestly. Depends
Yeah.
on which you should.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, in order for a video to be viral, what like from your experience, what did you see kind of like the changes that if somebody made in their video will go viral?
That's a very good question. Now, I have to say, I'm not too interested in the whole virality topic of
Yeah.
video. I
Mm-hmm.
am as well, but I'm not really paid to make someone viral.
Gotcha.
This is another kind of branch of my industry that I'm not A, too good at, but or B, too interested in,
Yeah, 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 definitely.
which kind of goes hand in hand. But
Mm,
from personal experience, I would say you definitely want to make something that is novel and most importantly, relatable.
mm,
So we can all talk about hook and first suspense, second suspense, and call to action at the end or whatever. But what I found in my content is it has to be relatable and approachable,
yeah.
especially if it's like professional and high quality and all that. People want to see something and feel like that could be me, I could be involved, and I could be part of it.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Otherwise, they just like, "Yeah, I don't know, man, whatever, do your own
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah,
you
definitely.
know?
Yeah.
but you got to take them kind of on a journey. You got to be let them be part of something.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's a little abstract. Maybe I can pin it down a little more, even if that's still abstract. I do a lot of drone stuff actually, and I
Mm.
recently bought a build a new drone, like a big one, and then I put this camera on top,
Oh,
and I
really?
basically, yeah, yeah, I can show you the drone too if you want. Drone, it's a big one,
Mm-hmm.
and I built this one myself from scratch.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
That's
then
very
I just
creative.
put
Yeah.
this camera on
And then put it
top
on top.
and let it fly. And I basically just have a short little video with a voiceover where I say POV, you build a custom FPV Cinelifter drone, kind
Yeah,
of.
definitely. Yeah,
Just a
that's
little bit
definitely.
of B-roll
Mm.
of how I built the drone, and then in the end
Yeah.
it flies, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And
You're-
it's really well structured because at first it's kind of an introduction.
Yeah.
This is this is the exposition, so to say. Is that the right word? This is the starting point. Here
Yeah.
are we right now. This is the objective. This is the idea. And
Yeah.
then we go further down in the story, and then the story unveils, and there are the shots from the camera, right?
Yeah. 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 Definitely. Yeah.
That's just one example of how you can structure something, if that makes any sense. I don't
Yeah,
know, honestly.
definitely. Yeah. So, for editing, what software do you usually use to edit the
Yeah,
video?
I'm on DaVinci Resolve.
Mm.
That's one of the best ones. I
Mm-hmm.
don't say that to flex, that's just objectively the facts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fact. And you have basically Final Cut, Premiere, DaVinci, and for short form and vertical videos, CapCut, obviously. And then there are a few new ones that I don't really know about and honestly don't really care about at this point
Yeah.
in time.
Mm-hmm.
But DaVinci is extremely progress when it comes to the editing in general, but also the coloring. So if you want to really make something beautiful, so to
Mm-hmm.
say,
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
colors,
definitely.
good effects.
Yeah.
And Premiere has everything that you have After Effects with all the special effects and stuff.
Yeah.
But DaVinci is really good.
Okay,
Um,
perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
And
would
there's a
you
free version as well. You can
mm,
basically go full pro with that. You don't need the paid version yet.
yeah. So how did you start learning how to edit videos and basically film? Was there like any
I told you at
mentor that
first, I
you
just started.
hmm
I want to go on a little tangent here. Like in everything else in life, basically, I didn't really have a mentor in anything. I obviously had tutorials to watch on the internet,
Yeah.
but it was all just learning by doing and some energy behind what I wanted to do. And I gotta be honest, I didn't really start with the idea of wanting to become a professional video editor or
Mm,
videographer. Not at all.
yeah.
Actually, I'm still not 100% sure if that's my career path for the next decade or whatnot.
Yeah.
It
Because I
just
was
happened
going
and worked well, but
mm,
yeah.
yeah. Because I also wanted to ask you like, do you think that after a few years from now would AI take over the industry of video editing? What do you think? Because I saw a lot of softwares that
Mm.
are growing right now, different tech startups and stuff that are doing kind of similar things.
Yeah, so with video, it's very tricky, at least up
Hmm.
until now, even with the whole Sora AI stuff and
Yeah.
what's out now, Runaway or whatnot. It's very tricky to design something that actually makes sense and seems realistic. Like it is
Yeah.
crazy, don't get me wrong. It's an insane tool, and you can basically become a VFX studio just by typing in a few phrases, which is
Yeah.
just mental and unbelievable. But from a very practical perspective, from what I do, usually working with personal brands, it will definitely not take at least that many jobs, especially not if you're able to incorporate it, because you have to be able to use the tool as a creative, and the tool usually isn't creative by itself, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I work mainly with personal brands, and in
Mhm.
that regard, you can't type in a prompt being like, hey, there's this event, please go there and record a whole bunch of dope stuff from the,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
simply impossible and it will never become possible.
Yeah.
So that's my niche. I work with people and brands and
Mm.
things in the real world. Obviously, if you're like a short form editor on YouTube, you make stories that you need B-roll for. It's absolutely amazing and can, yeah,
Yeah.
take the job of a B-roll videography for
Yeah,
or whatnot.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you talked more about being kind of like an editor for a lot of personal brands. Tell us a little bit more about the story of how you were able to connect with those personal brands. Because I also saw on your Instagram you had a, picture. It was Luke Belmar and video, and also doing the edits for him for one of his events. So talk a little bit more about that.
Mm, specifically about Luke or
Whatever
how
you
I
want.
connect.
You can talk about more about like connecting, and even if you want to show the story of how you connected with Luke, you can also do that.
Sure. Yeah, I will start this by outlining the whole networking kind of thing, how I do that.
All right, amazing. Yeah.
And it's a pretty simple equation, so to say. You know, we always hear about networking and all that stuff. And I'm also in touch with these personal brands and entrepreneurs and business people, however you want to call them. And
Yeah.
networking in a certain way is a little bit of a blown out of proportion term, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Not that it doesn't exist or anything, but it really boils down to something fundamental, at least that's what it seemed to be the case for me.
Yeah.
It's simply being an approachable and social person.
Yeah. Hmm.
Like you can go on an event and network and tell everybody what you do and tell everybody, hey, I'm this guy and what are you doing and all this stuff. And
Yeah.
it's very hard for a genuinely successful person to not think that you, A, try to sell them something that they probably don't need,
Hmm.
or B, you're just ingenuine and annoying.
Yeah, definitely. That's also really important to create value. Like always just giving value to the people because that's how kind of you network.
Yeah, totally.
Mm.
And also seek value. Like there's nothing wrong by asking people for their advice or just seeing someone and thinking this person has something about them. I don't really understand it, but I
Yeah.
want to pick this person's brain a little bit. It's basically what you do right now, right? Or in general with your podcast.
Yeah. Hmm.
You just show interest, and that's an extreme value for a lot of people because A, they love to talk about what they are good at, and B, they just want to connect with people that are genuinely curious because they are the same. They are extremely curious in their respective fields,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
So my tactic is really, I don't have any. I don't go to any events with the intention. I mean, obviously, there's a potential, but I don't go there to be like, maybe I go there to get a new client, high paying,
Hmm.
well respected or whatever. It's never
Yeah.
been my intention, and it served me pretty well,
Yeah, definitely.
especially because it's just a natural thing to me, but
Hmm.
not
Yeah.
to beat around the bush too much. I'm just chill. I'm relatable. I try to be someone that people want to connect with. So
Hmm.
just on a human level, be a cool dude, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that means, we can dissect a little bit, but just be an interesting individual in and of and by yourself, and people will either see that or not. You
Hmm.
will connect with people naturally.
Yeah.
I would say in a friendship scenario is the best to start out with.
Hmm.
And then maybe something happens from it. You know, maybe one day they need somebody and hey, there was this guy, then they contact you or
Yeah.
something along these lines. For me, it's always been extremely organic, especially I can tell you, I've very rarely looked for jobs and gigs.
Yeah.
On one side, it's because I don't honestly care that much about having that much money and trading my time in for it.
Yeah.
But also on the other hand, because I'm just a guy that people kind of seem to like and
Yeah.
they know me and they know that I do cool videos and hey, you're that dude, right? Can you help me
Yeah.
with this
Yeah.
and that? What's your
Yeah.
opinion on that?
Hmm.
And my first job in videography, I don't know. My friend just asked me, hey, bro, you want to help me with my agency? I'm like, yeah, I guess. Why not?
Yeah. That's
You
why,
know?
yeah, that's why it's like really important for someone to first master the skill and bring in really good results. Because that way you just have organic marketing. Because somebody would tell the other guy, his friend who know someone who needs a videographer who just refer and so on and so forth.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's possible to do to get successful with sales and outbound or whatnot. But me personally, it's really not my style, and I find it extremely annoying. And
Yeah, definitely.
it's not my thing.
Yeah.
But on another note, to underline it a little bit, like half a year ago, approximately, I was out of my main client and
Mm-hmm.
I needed a job. And I've never really honestly looked for people to give me their money, so to say, and give me their
Yeah.
work because I've
Yeah,
just
yeah.
always had it for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the first time. It was super interesting. And I just, for one day, not even, maybe like 3 hours max, I
Mm-hmm.
just sent voice notes to all the people where I thought this person could maybe know somebody or himself who has a gig for me, something I could edit, something I could film, whatever.
Yeah.
And the next day, I got, dude, I got so much, so many opportunities, so many potential gigs. And I was like actually astonished because I've never done it. And so many people just want to give me their work, and trust in me
Yeah.
and all. And
Yeah,
it's, in my
yeah.
opinion, a pretty good proof of concept in that
Yeah,
regard.
definitely. Yeah, exactly. Proof of concept. Like they know that you can deliver a lot of really good results. That's why they need you like really badly in order for you to do a lot of videos and basically edits. Yeah, definitely.
Totally, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Luke Belmar story, it's kind of the same as what I just told you, but in a applied way. I
Hmm.
was in Bali. It was, I think, January or no, maybe February this
Hmm.
year.
This year.
People see that of last year, probably,
Yeah.
like 1 year ago, approximately.
Yeah.
And I was just training in a gym and I was in the spa area. It was where the sauna and the ice bath and all that jazz is. Just after training, chilling, drinking my water, being at the bar. And then I see this person and I like immediately recognize him. And I was like, Luke, is that you? And he just looked at me and was like, yo, what's up, bro? Kind of like his nonchalant, charismatic way.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what's going on here? That's crazy. And I was a little starstruck, but I was also not too nervous, you could say. I was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
so curious and interested. And I'm just asking him, what are you doing here? Like, what's good? And he's like, yeah, I'm just chilling here in the sauna with a friend. And I was asking him, would you mind if I join? He's like, no, no, just come in. So
Yeah.
we go to the sauna. He sits down, his friend is next to him, here's the wall, and he's telling his friend like, hey, yo, bro, move over. It's super funny. And his friend just moves over and like I sit in between of both of them. And I
Yeah.
was thinking, oh bro, this could be a very interesting conversation now. And we just started to talk, really nothing crazy. He was probing me a little bit about like, do you know what the Matrix is, bro? You know
Yeah.
what a glitch is and stuff like this. And I'm me knowing my lingo, having been in that space a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh, I guess I passed the test, you could say. He
Yeah.
was already trying to from his buddy who was sitting next to me. I told him I'm a videographer, and he's like, "Yo, bro, don't you need a videographer or something?" Super cool guy, man. Really genuine, really
Yeah.
engaged.
Mm.
And then afterwards, he like I asked him like, "Hey, bro, can we stay in touch or something?" He's like, "Yeah, just text me on Instagram." I thought like, "Yeah, right, bro. Mr. 500,000 followers is just gonna text with me on Instagram." But apparently, I just said, "Hey, was cool meeting you." Oh, he also gave me a little life advice, but never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
Before that. And yeah, he responded. He asked me, hey, bro, what do you do on that on this date? Like right away. I'm like, nothing really. He's like, yeah, I got this event for my guys here. You can come and shoot if you want and
Mm.
join and meet all the entrepreneurs and stuff. It's like, yeah, this sounds pretty fucking sick.
Yeah.
So they had this Capital Club event. Capital Club is his like
Capital Club. Yeah.
network, school
Mm.
slash everything under the sun
Mm.
community.
Yeah.
And I talked to his creative director first. We organized a few things. I was hired as a drone videographer
Yeah.
and just went there, shot some drone footage, talked with the guys, connected with a few people, and the rest is kind of history. Then
Mm.
later this year, last year, whenever you're watching this, they had this massive event, this huge Capital Club event here in Bali. Again, not here. I'm not in Bali right now, but you get it. And yeah, they asked me again to come out there, and this was like a really big one, 5, 6 day, super high ticket price. And I was invited again as a videographer, connected with a few guys, and that was just the vibe, honestly. A really sick gig, kind of a dream job. If I think about it, this is like
Yeah,
really,
it's really
really
good.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like, um, Luke Belmar, I'm pretty sure I listened to one of his podcasts and his content strategy, I think, is that he has a really cool as I guess you can say like content strategy in which he like hires a lot of people as like an office, I think in Singapore or something, and basically have all of these editors who just edit his videos in different shorts, YouTubes, and was hundreds of different accounts and YouTube channels, and just pushing his content to the algorithm, and basically and it paid him off really good. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a similar strategy to what Tate did back in the old Hustlers University days with the
Yeah.
whole affiliate marketing thing.
Oh yeah.
The same promise of making money from making videos for him.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Works really well for someone like him. It's a very advanced strategy, but he really did it well, implemented it
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, definitely, I would say, yeah. Now do you have any kind of like final advice for the audience if they're trying to go out there, be follow their passion of editing and videographing and all of that?
Yeah, I think it's very important that you find your drive, which could be your passion, but it's a very odd industry in that nobody really gives you a set path that works 100% for you. It's not a office job or something where somebody tells you do this and this, that, then and there. You basically are your own boss. You work your own hours. You do your whole everything from top to bottom, every business operation. Usually, obviously, it doesn't have to be that way. You can work as an agency or, collaborate with other people. But that's at least how I did it and how I, to some extent, prefer to do, which gives me a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
And you just really got to find your drive and motivation and maybe even meaning and niche because there are a lot of videographers, especially nowadays. I was still coming up when it was kind of like getting into the prime. Now there's a whole insane influx of people,
Yeah.
and it's crazy, honestly. You got to make a name for yourself and don't shit on that name. Don't mess it up. You can a few times, but you know, just create a good, reputable brand that people can trust. Be
Hmm.
a decent human being, have a lot of drive and desire, know what your worth and offer is, because that's also kind of tricky to understand. Videographers often started as these artists, and then at some point they have to become business owners,
Yeah.
or they just end up in an agency, get all their life energy sapped out of them, and
Yeah,
kind
I'd
of
say.
hate their lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there are a lot of things to learn about business. That's what I would recommend if you're a creative, if you're an artist, definitely look into the business side of things.
Yeah.
If you're more a business person and for some reason you decide to become a videographer, maybe you're a marketer first, definitely don't disregard the whole artistry. You really got to understand what makes something appealing and beautiful. And yeah, man, there's a lot
Yeah,
of
definitely.
things
Yeah.
I could recommend, but maybe let's see what I said.
For a second episode, yeah, definitely. So for regarding like the offer side, it's a really good book that I read, I think last year, by Alex Hormozy, like 100 million offers. Really good, and
For
also like
sure.
100 million
For
leads
sure.
all as well. It's really good. So yeah, definitely it would help a lot if you guys would just take a look at that and just craft your offer from that kind of aspect. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
Great book, great guy.
yeah. So I'm starting this challenge. So for every single guest, I'm gonna basically ask them a question from the last guest. So what question do you want to ask for the next guest that we host?
Wow, that is an interesting one. The next guest host. I have no idea in which industry is going to be, or what his thing is going to be. I can assume that he's somewhat successful in what he does. And it shouldn't be the usual, what's your most least common advice or something.
Mm,
Hmm. Okay, I have a good one. Maybe, hopefully.
all right.
What was your biggest passion as a child, your biggest interest and hobby, and how would you say does it relate to what you do now?
Amazing. It's a really good one. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Amazing, man.
Because I think that childhood has such a big influence over
Influence.
what
Yeah.
who we are today, even if we don't do the same. Maybe to, explain myself a little further, I was drawing a lot and doing a lot
Mm,
of art in other domains. I don't
yeah.
draw at all anymore, but I just taught my eye how to be observative and, you know,
Yeah,
so it
definitely.
translates perfectly into video.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. Yeah. Because always like whatever you kind of start off with whenever you're young, as you develop and you grow, it kind of just helps for your brain to also expand to more ideas and in kind of like more opportunities, I would say. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Thank you
The
so
same
much
to you.
yeah, for this amazing podcast.